Greetings and salutations, and thank you for joining me today. I am Henriette, International Practice Coordinator at BridgeHouse Law. If you do follow BridgeHouse Law on social media, which by the way you should do because it's awesome, you may know that I have become a US citizen on September 20th after having lived in North Carolina for 25 years. And this is courtesy of the new citizenship law in Germany, which allows its citizens now to take on a second citizenship without the oh so pesky Beibehaltungsgenehmigung. So yay me. Here at the firm, we have also noticed that we have more matters for naturalization here in the United States, and we get a lot of questions about the process after you submit your application. And since I went through this, I thought we'll make a little video and tell you how this went for me. I submitted my application using the USCIS online portal. It was painless. And when we submitted the application, we were told that the processing time would be around 9 months, which we were fine with. About 2 days later, I received my receipt notice and the processing time had dropped down to 7 months. Also fine, I was going to go on vacation, have surgery, no big whoop. At the end of July, I surprisingly received my invitation for the interview and the test. And I was told that they are waiving my biometric appointment and that they would be using the information and the fingerprints that they already have on file. The invitation for the test and interview, which is like, this fun form, also asked me to bring information about my marriage, the marriage license, the divorce degree, and proof that my husband actually is a US citizen and that he is still alive and kicking. I took originals and copies just in case. In preparation for the test, because I don't like tests, I downloaded an app from the App Store, which is this one right there. It's the uscis.gov, and they have a little app where you can practice the tests. I did that every day. I ran through like maybe 2 or 3 tests, which contained 20 questions, and did that from end of July till my appointment, which was September 3rd. So September 3rd, I rolled up to the USCIS building. I had my green card, I had identification, I had the documents that they requested, and hopefully all the correct answers to the test questions. After checking in, you have to go upstairs and you wait until they call your name. My appointment was not with a real person, I found out, but mine was actually a Zoom meeting. So I had this lady sitting in front of me at my screen. So first came the reading test. There was like this yay little iPad, and she said, would you please read what's on that iPad? And I'm like, what do we pay to the government? And she said, that concludes your reading test. Wow. And then she said, please write, we pay taxes. So I wrote, we pay taxes, and that was my English writing test. And then she asked me 5 questions as my civic tests, which for me was, who becomes president when the president can't president anymore? What is the ocean on the east of the United States? Why did the Pilgrims come over to the United States? By the way, in that test preparation app, one of the choices that you have is to experience the joy of crossing the ocean on a boat. And the other 2 questions I cannot remember. They were very easy questions. Then she went with me for all the questions, if I'm a terrorist or a criminal, and if I'm willing to bear arms for the United States or all of these things, which I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. And she didn't even look at the papers that they requested for me to bring. So this went all well. And at the end of the interview, I received this cool little form where she said that I passed my test and that I am recommended for approval to become a US citizen. So that was September 3rd. And then like 2 days later, I got the paper that my swearing in ceremony would be on September the 20th, 11 days after my surgery. And I'm like, I am not changing that appointment. I will be there. And if they have to drive me in on a cart or whatever in a wheelchair, I will be there to become a US citizen. So September the 3rd, my swearing in, which was like awesome day. So I had my friends there, I had family there. My oldest son was in Germany. My best friend had him on WhatsApp on his cell phone, and one of the attorneys was there from the firm, Crystal. She had my mom on WhatsApp on the phone. And it was great. So you come in, you go for security, everything. You need to bring your green card, because what they do before the whole party starts, you have to go, you give them your green card, they look you up, and then they give you your naturalization certificate, and you have to make sure everything is correct on that paper. So you exchange your green card for the naturalization certificate, and you hold that in your hand before you even get sworn in. And what we did, because there was not much going on, we already took the pictures before I was sworn in. And everybody had family there. I think at my ceremony, there were like 37 nations represented becoming US citizens. And it was like so cool. I could not stop smiling. And basically you get sworn in, and then they do a little bit like videos, and they tell you to wait about 2 weeks to go and apply for your passport, because it takes time in the system, in the back system, that you are now a US citizen. So you need to wait about 2 weeks. They also had people where you could already register to vote, which I didn't do because I had to go to the DMV anyways. So yeah, so I was sworn in on November 20th, 4 months after I submitted my application. I had my passport appointment on October the 1st, and I had my US passport on October the 15th, and I was able to vote during the elections this year. So, I mean, it was great. So if you have any questions, if you need help with your application to become a US citizen, anything, contact us at Bridge House Law. We have been there, we have done it, and we're here for you. And thank you for listening to my story.